Welcome back to the show. So many times here on the Morning Blend, we love to give resources and tips to help you and your family, no matter what situation may arise. And sometimes those situations can be unfortunate, such as water damage. What do you do? Well, again, we want to equip you with some tools and ideas on how people can help. And those folks we're talking about today, Paul Davis Restoration. Let's go ahead, bring in our friends Leah and Joe once again. Good morning to the both of you. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Natalie?
I'm well. So, you don't want to talk about this. It's a situation no one wants to deal with, but it does happen. Water damage. When you pick up the calls, Leah, what do you see? What are some examples you can share with people to know about this loss in case they ever find themselves in one of these situations?
So the most commonly known losses that we see are dishwasher overflows, heavy rains, flooding, roof leaks, things like that are very common. And really, when considering a company, I would say you want to make sure your company is responding quickly and in a timely manner. You want to prevent any type of secondary damage from happening. And then you want to make sure they're highly trained. You want to make sure they're IICRC certified, and you want to make sure they know how to navigate the insurance process, which is a lengthy process. You want to make sure you're working with a company that really documents everything that they do throughout the entire water mitigation process.
That's a great resource.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk now. We've got someone, you don't want to make the problem worse, which I thought was something really interesting that you brought up there. Joe, let's bring you in. How does the process work? Let's talk about the tools. Let's talk about the science, because people want to know what you're going to be bringing into their homes.
Sure. So here at Paul Davis Tampa, we keep up with all the latest technologies in our drying equipment and abilities. And like Leah said, we keep all of our technicians certified through the IICRC. And just like the insurance carriers and adjusters, they have to have CECs. And here we see the air movers and the dehumidifiers and some of the portable equipment that we take into the homes, which is a primary thing you have to do in the very beginning of the stages of the mitigation. You have to start that drying process very quickly. We try to be on site within the first hour and a half and assess the issue, come up with a dry standard, set the proper dehumidifiers, set the proper air movers, take our pictures, do the sketch, and get everything ready to submit to the carriers.
While we're taking a look at some of these items here, I'm assuming you run into some people who are like, oh, I want to try to do this myself. But you were just talking about how important it is to get the right settings and the right equipment, especially documented. Again, if you're going to make that insurance claim, you've got to see people who try to maybe do that on their own. And those are good examples of why not, correct?
Correct. So the key element is evaporation, getting the moisture from the wet surface of whatever it may be, drywall, carpet, wood floors, and evaporate that into the air and then pull it out with a dehumidifier and pump it away. So it's what utilized as the science of drying.
And really, I mean, just kind of listening and learning about this process, because this is my first time learning about it here, it seems like calling you quickly after it happens. You mentioned how important it is to start that drying process right away.
Yeah, it is. The key element is to start the process immediately to control the environment so you don't get what they would call a secondary damage. If the moisture gets too high within a residence, it'll start condensing on paper goods, pictures, photos, and other things, absorbing in drywall, causing more issues in the future that could result into mold.
And Leah, I want to give you the last word here and kind of put the exclamation point on why Paul Davis is the right company to call. You talked about your trained technicians and, of course, the equipment. Anything else you want to throw out there just to show why when people find themselves in a situation, to quickly call Paul Davis is the smart move?
Yeah, so we are full service. So we do and work on every level of the mitigation process, as well as the contents, as well as the reconstruction process. So if something does happen at any level in a loss, we can handle that for you from start to finish.
So nice to hear that, because again, no one wants to deal with these situations, but having somebody to help is key. Paul Davis Restoration, there's their website, phone number. Joe, Leah, always appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.